Hello to all my Bestmed clients. It's Hester Bielefeld from Wilkinson Insurance Brokers, the Medical Aid Division. Welcome to this, what is going to be a very short YouTube video because there really weren't a lot of changes for 2026 for Bestmed. I will also attach the Bestmed brochure and I really encourage you all to go through the brochure and look specifically at your plan so that you know what benefits you have. In this brief time, we're going to be going through the contribution and benefit limit increases, the general changes to all the plans, a quick look at specific plan changes, and then an invitation to review your plan if you need to do that. Right, the average weighted premium increase for next year is a very nice low 6.8%. This is better than the majority of the industry. There were a couple of medical aids that had huge increases, which just seemed out of character for the rest of the industry. So Bestmed has done really well, and the weighted benefit limit increases and sub-limit increases are 4.6, which is actually higher than inflation. Right, looking at the contributions, we'll start off with the rhythm range. This is the entry-level range for Bestmed. Let me just get my little pointer so we know where I'm pointing to. Right, so the rhythm 1 and there's rhythm 2. I'm not even going to bother to go through rhythm 2 because I don't sell it and I don't think I will in the near or distant future. So for rhythm 1, if you earn between 0 and 9,000 Rand, your premium for a main member will be 1,736. And if you earn between 9,000 and 14,000, it's going to be 2,024. And if you earn over 14,000, it's going to be 3,615. Usually when you get to this level, I would say to you, let's move you on to something a bit more comprehensive. Right, so adult dependent, same price. And the child dependent is 715 on the lowest end salary band. Right, there are no savings with this. Please just note that with Bestmed, if you are under the age of 24, you are still considered to be a child. Looking at the beat range, which is the middle range and probably the most popular, you've got beat 1, and where you see a little N, it means it's a network option. So your network hospitals and network GPs and so on are required to be used. So the principal member on beat 1, which is a hospital plan, is 2,269, no savings. Your adult dependent 1,764. And your child dependent 956. If you go a little bit further up, you'll see here these figures tell you how much of your premium goes towards savings every month. So beat 3, which is a reasonably common plan, beat 3 network will be 3453. And if you go, as that says, the principal member, and if you go to beat 3 without the network, it goes to 3837, which is, in my opinion, not that much more than the beat 3 network. So if you're trying to avoid the problem of having to choose your hospital or having to choose your service provider, your GP or specialist, this would actually be a good option for you. Lastly, looking at the PACE range, this is the more comprehensive plans for Bestmed. PACE 1, lots of clients on PACE 1. You have 19% of your savings, of your premium, going towards savings. So here, for a principal member, it's 4,807 and 1,127 per month into your savings account. Adult will be 347 and a child 1,248. So this is reasonably priced, and you do get 19% savings, which is quite nice. You'll see here on PACE 4, although it's a lot more comprehensive in terms of the actual benefits on this particular plan, there's only a 3% savings. So that, and this is their top plan, and it's 12,195 for the main member. 12,195, again the same for an adult dependent, and then 2,857 for a child. This is when you have this kind of situation, when you have the adult dependent and the principal member paying the same premium, I will normally put you onto two separate plans, so you each have your own plan. The simple reason being that often there are family benefits, and if you're the only member on that plan, you get the full family benefit, but if you were on together, you would actually be sharing that benefit. So that's why I do that particular little arrangement. Right, so just a note that 12,000 is actually not that much for the top plan. If we look at something like Discovery, that would be almost double that amount for their top plan. All right, general changes to all the plans. So in hospital, there's been increase to the take-home to take out TTO, to take out medicine. And if you go to a retail pharmacy and it's not given to you in the hospital, you will be able to get that on all options. Okay, there's added cover for adenoidectomy procedures along with the tonsillectomy, which happens commonly, and that's on Rhythm 1. Increased benefits for cochlear implants and bone-anchored hearing aids on Beat 4 and the PACE range. Introduction on all-inclusive benefit for medically necessary breast reduction surgery of 100,000 on PACE 4, and on PACE 3, same thing, which it wasn't on before. You could only get it on PACE 4 previously. Shoulder replacements will in future be funded from a combined shoulder and knee replacement benefit. So what that allows you to do is actually have a larger benefit for shoulder replacement. Typically the shoulder replacements are a bit underfunded, so they don't supply as much benefit for a shoulder replacement, but this is to try and solve that problem. I actually have quite a few clients who need a shoulder replacement, so this is a particular interest to me. Right, carrying on with general changes, on the preventative care benefit side, there's a separate additional intrauterine device, or IUD, benefit, and that was added under the female contraceptive benefit, and that's available across all options. Something like a Mirena device, something like that. You can do an FOBT test, which is a colon cancer screening test to try and detect blood in the stool. I'm assuming you'll be able to get this from the pharmacy, and you can do this on all options every 24 months for beneficiaries 40 years and older, and certainly better than having an endoscopy to try and see what's going on. Alright, so you can have an added HIV rapid testing, again on all options once every 12 months at a designated service provider or DSP pharmacy. Updated prostate-specific antigen or PSA for the guys, and they've lowered the qualifying range from 50 to 45 years, so that's great, and that's covered every 24 months. And then lastly, added PSA screenings to Beat 1 and to Rhythm 1. So this benefit is now available on all the options right across the board. Just briefly, some specific plan changes. I've already mentioned them, but just to reiterate, on Beat 4, there's a cochlear implant and bone-anchored hearing aid benefit increase, and this allows you to have sound processor upgrades every 5 years. They didn't stipulate any specific amount, but you can always check your brochure if you are interested in this particular benefit. Same thing with PACE 1 to 4. Obviously, they've been having an issue with this. The sound processor upgrades will be allowed every 5 years. Absolutely no changes to Rhythm for this particular benefit year. Alright, so as I said, it was going to be super short. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm sure you'll be quite happy to hear about the increase not being very large as it was last year. And now's the time of year that we do reviews for the plan changes. Please speak to me as soon as you can. Get hold of me in the next week or so, as we need to get all the documents in for your change into Bestmed by the end of November for the 1 January 2026 start. Okay, you might also want to review your gap cover, or go on to gap if you don't have a gap cover. I really would recommend it. So that just leaves me to say have a wonderful Christmas for 2025 and a very prosperous and blessed 2026. Take care now.